My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Blueprints. We've got 2 gems, 53 money from our allowance. We've got the moon pendant itself was held over to the new day, so it'll carry another 2 items to tomorrow. And it also brought with us the sledgehammer. We also have the Blessing of the Monk, which we used yesterday to put the vault outside. I don't really know how to open it, is my big concern. So I can spawn it, I can get a huge amount of money from it, but I don't really know what to do to open the chest in there just yet. I almost feel like removing more crates from the tunnel, because we know that under the Mount Holly estate is the original kingdom of Arinda Are, or rather the original capital of Arinda, of Arindia even. So for that reason, I wonder if under Mount Holly we might find more aged Arindan artifacts, and including in them would be a key that might be able to open that treasure trove, right? That's what I'm working with at the moment. Oh, Nuance. Nuance uses airships. I should well have known that. That actually also looks like a nation of industry as well, though. And I'd already said that I thought a different nation was industry. I also have a guess for gallery. Hang on a second. You know what? I'm going to pause and just write this down. I'll bring you back in a sec. All right, all good. Welcome back. So, as for the rest of our meta goals at the moment, we need to send more letters to the mailroom, we need to remove more crates from the tunnel, we need to spawn 46 as an outer room, so that is ending the day in room 46 with the Blessing of the Monk, to see if I can spawn it outside. We need to open the Trove Monk chest. Right, yeah, that's the, the treasure trove one that I just talked about. Open her ladyship's diary. Solve the final gallery, get 9 classrooms, and the Mechanarium Sanctum key. All the things that we are currently tracking. All right. Now that the table is fully set, let's set about our run. Spare bedroom takes us to the corner, funeral parlor, and hallway closet. I will take the passage to the corner, thank you. Ooh, I do like observatory a lot. It's so much power this early, but it is also very common for me. And I even have a second copy of it now, courtesy of the Chamber of Mirrors. Oh, closed exhibit! Yes! The doors in this room are security locked. However, I have the ability via the den to get behind it, so I'll be able to pick up a crown very early here. Yep, drawing room, that'll just do it. Oh, this is huge. I'm also going to pick up my additional gem for being in this room. $15.04, enter. Reveal the tripwire, lower the barrier, reset the alarm system, and then, as fast as I can do it, grab that crown. Ooh, and a hobbyist's lockpicking kit. So the crown is now giving us the ability to, if there is no red room among the first 3 floor plans we draw while drafting, we may redraw. That also means we have the ability to redraw outside, because I don't think... I mean, let me absolutely make certain of this. There's no red room that can even generate outside. Unless, of course, I've used the Blessing of the Monk to put one there, and I didn't. I put the treasure trove there. Observatory. I just want my stars active as soon as possible. Draxus the Dead is here, but I can get Southern Cross, Demondus Majoris, Clavis the Key, the Twins, and a Farmer's Apple without having to activate Draxus. You can redraw coming out of the floor, the drawing room, so I would rather draw from there. Also, I do have a sledgehammer, so I could actually pop pop open both of the chests in the entrance hall, but before I do that, I'm gonna come here and try and open this. Oh, wow. Commissary closes this loop. So does Observatory again. Oh my god, Observatory again. There was so many things. I'm taking it. Let me look at my stars now with 46 of them up there. The sale, everything's 50% off. Diamondus Majoris, 5 more diamonds. Southern Cross doors with rooms with 4 doors are even more common today. Clavus for another key, and then Farmer's Apple. Apples are extra delicious today. So they go from being like 3 to 5 when they're extra delicious. Will they go up another 3 to 6? Sorry, to 6 to 8? Who's to say? I hope so. I don't really want to pop these yet, but also I don't think the next 3 times you open a locked chest is even one of the trigger conditions I kept for my laboratory. So 1 gem, 1 key, and 4 coins. 1 gem, 1 key, and 1 coin. Perfect. It's worth noting, those 2 exits out of the closed exhibit, those are both security locks. So I am actually possibly dead in the water here. I hope not. Okay, there we go. Yeah, office will help. Opportunity to earn and spread money. I mean, look, I just want this because it has a terminal in it, and I'll have the ability to access the laboratory and see what our experiment is, which is the most impactful thing that I'm capable of doing each day. Give me remote terminal access to the laboratory, please. I have an experiment to run. Each time you view your map, lose 10 steps and then. Or whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room, or for every room you draft in the next 40 seconds. I don't think this is a very powerful one. I seldom get, or rather I've tried this, and I find that it would be difficult to get more than 4. This early, when you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room, yeah, that'll happen enough times. I think I take that and the letter delivered to the mail room. It's going to be the least intrusive in this run and give us possibly a lot of benefit. I really don't know if Randolph is actually going to send us a letter that's meaningful, worth a damn. Realistically, what Randolph has sent us is postcards. Well, not postcards, but postage stamps. And those postage stamps have had much more information than Randolph himself had. Showroom, 2 gem requirement moves upwards. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A letter is delivered to the mailroom. Moon pendant. I already have one of those. You can't give me a second moon pendant, can you? I didn't think it would even be able to spawn. I'm gonna take the 24 karat chronograph so I can redraw when I rewind, and I'm gonna see if it'll give me a second moon pendant. No. Okay, so I just got cheated. I just got stolen from? 20 gold in order to reinforce the fact that yes, I do already own the moon pendant. There is also Master Key here, which I will try to see if Master Key can open the treasure trove. It won't be able to. It should not be able to. It would not make sense. Go check to get the emerald bracelet. I'm not keen to do that here. I'd actually really like to not to do that here, please. I want to spend gems, ideally. And my thing needs to be open in a good direction, so I'm going to redraw. Chapel. Great. Open in all of the correct directions I could be keen to see. Passageway, 4 draft. Yes, as much as I do need a mailroom, a 4-way completely clears up all of the problems that I have right now. Sets this up for a good run again. Garage. Well, I mean, the thing is, I have no risk because I have the chronograph and the red crown. I can just re-roll, and if I don't get something good, I can just come back. That said, veranda is another letter delivered to the mailroom, as well as, is that a shovel in there? No, it's not a shovel, but it is a metal detector, which I'll go in and get. Pool hall takes us back in the other direction, and I do like pool hall, so if I have to, I'll come back and take that. And in fact, I'm going to. We rewind our draft, take the pool hall. I really want to go up because this could also possibly have for us just a key card. The earlier I get that, the better off I would be. 21, we invert, 12, we invert that, it's 21, divided by 7 is 3. 1 plus 2 minus 5 is negative... Right? Oh, sorry, I've missed a step. 1 plus 2 is 3, times by 7 is 21, minus 5 is 16, inverted is 61, minus 10 is 51, inverted is 15. Negative 10 plus a third of 20, and a third of 20, and a third of 20, which is 20. So, 10. Keycard! Hell yeah. That's exactly why I wanted to come here. Ooh, metal detector is telling me there is a lonely key behind the counter. Sorry, coin, rather, behind the counter. Cloister of Joya. It's got all of the adjacencies I could care about. And it delivers a letter to the mailroom. And I might even be able to increase permanently our main course. This is working great. Vestibule also opens in all the correct directions. I have to take that here. Another letter delivered to the mailroom. It's really important I get the mailroom today now. Commissary coat check weight room. Weight room halving my steps? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I did draw weight room, so I can't even redraw here. Weight room's not really a problem, if I'm honest. 24 steps is very easy for me to give up a lot of the time. Rotunda. I mean, Rotunda's another mail delivered to the mailroom, but the thing is, I have entrance, 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 entrance. Like, the Rotunda, the only entrance it provides that I otherwise would not have had access to is going over this way. I'm going to take the mailroom here. I have placed an order, and also I would very much like a magnifying glass to come back here and look at these next couple of things here. Next letter from Randolph.
Dear Simon, after giving it some thought, I'm deciding I'm going to continue to help you. I've also just had a small chat with a probate lawyer, and he assures me there's nothing in the Baron's instructions that would preclude me from offering you my modest assistance. So let me tell you what I know. About a week before Sinclair died, something rather curious happened. A few lab assistants were called to Mrs. Babbage, the house manager, to remove several floor plans from Sinclair's drafting studio. Typically, all of the unused floor plans are kept there, and I've never heard of them being moved to another location, nor would I presume to guess the reason for such an action. I'm not sure which floor plans were removed or where they were moved to, save one which I was instructed to remove myself. Assuming it was not moved again after I hit it, you should be able to find it in the observatory, hidden within the lens compartment of the telescope therein. If there was a reason for the removal of these floor plans from the drafting studio, hopefully this will serve as the first illuminating step towards figuring out why.
Interesting. I mean, I have picked that up and some others since. We've already seen that Arajan stamp there.
Hey, Simon. I'm gonna assume at this point you've likely reached the upper ranks of the house and have run into our keycard security doors. They're actually a fairly new addition to the house that were designed by Kirk Darren and myself and were installed after a unfortunate incident 2 years ago when some of your uncle's correspondence was stolen by a member of staff who somehow managed to reach a room they absolutely should not have been able to find. We're still not 100% sure how,
And this being Denny Ravane,
he got past the antechamber seals, but it was clear after that episode that not every member of the staff should have unchecked access to the higher ranks of the estate. It's important to note here that in my own experience, I found every other member of the staff to be extremely trustworthy and unwavering in their loyalty to your uncle. Still, after that incident, we decided to err against our own confidences and opted to install a state-of-the-art security system, issuing keycards to only the most trusted members of staff. If you find the security doors become an annoyance while you're trying to navigate the house, you should be able to lower their frequency from the security terminal, and there's even a nifty trick to unlock them by utilizing the utility closet in conjunction with the security settings.
commonplace, standard, unusual, and rare. That's strange. So in security, you can set them to low, medium, or high, right? There's even a nifty trick to unlock them by utilizing the utility closet in conjunction with the security settings. So below that, it shows the rarity of a room appearing. That's not related to the security terminal or anything like that. That said, when a keycard is there, there are 4 dots on the keycard slot. This might be hinting at something I don't know.
Simon, following up on a map I created outlining the steam power duct system, I thought it'd be helpful to provide you a corresponding map for gas power, which is an outdated system that's currently only utilized in the house in locations on the grounds. The hovel, the schoolhouse, the gemstone cavern, and the apple orchard. Hope this helps. Randolph.
And that's another nuance there, and then... Aha. Again, all of these are things that we still knew.
Simon, just in case I wasn't explicit in the emails, I've decided to contact DC Power directly to get some additional usage information for the VAC system they installed. This information is actually as much for me as it is for you, as I often spend 10 minutes in the utility closet just pressing random buttons until I come up with the desired result, but I rarely understand how it is I get there. After half an hour on hold, I finally got to speak with the technician who personally designed the system, and I've compiled a list of helpful operating instructions. I'll add that material on a separate sheet I'll include with this letter. As always, hope this helps you. Randolph.
And 100%, this is just the indicator puzzle that we already solved using information that already existed in this room, as well as the email. No, it's that one. It's this one. Alright, I'd love to get more letters to exhaust his dialogue tree. Let's not proceed through to vestibule. I should go back to the earlier ranks. Let's see if I can connect passageway down. I mean, I'll hit this just in case. Probably not relevant, but I'll do it. I'm playing really fast and loose recently with my food situation. Foyer, it does reach in the right direction. It costs 2 gems. Another letter has been delivered. Also, I have good reasons now to draft each of the great halls that could be drafted. I mean, I could totally just put a walk-in closet here and get some items. Nook is in the right direction, but it doesn't matter that it's in the right direction. It's just some coins. Some keys, rather. Ooh, running shoes. Love those. We also get 2 gems and a coupon booklet. Okay. Could be worse, could be worse. Coat check freezer and laboratory. I will be redrawing here. Commissary headed in the wrong direction. Archives. Hallway closet. I think I take hallway closet. So now I've only got foyer and the vestibule as the extensions I can explore. Sleep mask, 5 additional steps every time you enter a bedroom for the first time. I have 1 spawned bedroom, but it's more than 5 steps out of my way. I think I should head through the foyer. It's really important that I draft a 4-sider over here. Or ideally a 4-sider. Trophy room takes more gems than I have to give me a bunch of gems that I don't have. That's a redraw. Rotunda, I'd love to be able to take. And in fact, I would be able to take here, but I could also take Great Hall, and it will be completely open. Yeah. We'll grate the take hall. Two keys here for us. 3 money and the antechamber switch. We have 2 more letters waiting for us in the other area as well. What are you beeping off of right now? There's another item somewhere? Lassie, where is it? Oh, sneaky little key. Security's certainly not essential anymore. Oh, no, I have the key card, of course. No, I will use security, thank you. Also draft out the north and south of this room before we leave. Dormitory, pantry headed in a good direction. A little bit of additional money, a little bit of additional food. But also, I can just redraw to that. Dining room. This is also additional food, courtesy of giving us the enjoy a lunch. And when I get to rank 8, I can come back here for additional food again. Master bedroom. 1 additional step for each room in your house. That would solve a lot of our step problems right now and gives us another thing to the mailroom. The only problem, realistically, is that I have no gems after doing it. I'm gonna take it. No other items in there at the moment, but I now have so many footsteps that it really shouldn't matter. Whoop. There we go. Pantry headed down the right direction, but again, I can just redraw and then undraw. Yeah, I suppose I will be undrawing, I think, here. Heading back to the pantry. As soon as I step foot in there, I am going to eat my enjoy a lunch. Okay, yeah, definitely not scared about footsteps anymore. Laboratory, unfortunately, terminates this path. Coat check and guest bedroom both do the same. Funeral parlor headed up, and it's a number of gems. I definitely need funeral parlor here. As much as I would also like to take commissary, funeral parlor actually continues the run in a useful way. And I'll also try and draft out the north here to see if I get another red room that I'll use. Greenhouse, headed in the correct direction. Unfortunately, I can't draw it. There's Kennel and Planetarium. I will re-roll back to Kennel if I need to. Ooh, Nook and Workshop. I'm leaning towards Nook. It moves in the correct direction. Okay. This box is empty. This box is empty. This puzzle is harder than it seems. Okay, that is wild, because you need to know how hard it seems for me to... That can't be true or false, I don't think. So one of these is true and one of these is false, but I can't do... So if it's not that, let's assume these are both true, and then this is false. This puzzle is easier than it seems. These both say that they're empty. This one says this puzzle is easier than it seems. These are both true, claiming to be empty. This one's false. That's a valid solution, but what if this one's true and this one's false? Well, the only way that I can get... I think they're in the black one. How do you nullify that statement, though? If this is false, it has the gems in. Both of these can't be false. They could both be true, though. So if they're both true, this one has to be false. They can't both be false, though. If one of them is true and one of them is false, then it literally could be either of them, right? Which means that I wouldn't have a viable solution. So the only possible solution that gives an answer is both of them being true and this being false, and it's in the black. Whoa! When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful. We had been awarded a logical trophy for winning 40 parlor games. And, of course, our 4 gems as well. Alright. Moving onwards and upwards to bigger, bolder, and better things. I kind of want to go back through the mailroom before I head out through that nook, but... Ooh! I get fully and utterly rewarded for waiting. I get the magnifying glass, which will give me the ability to magnify the things that I want. Rotunda? Yeah. It leads in one direction that I care about, but it gives us a letter in the mailroom, and that's the real benefit of it here. Alright, let me see that mailroom. Woo! Okay. This one was Morajai. Yes, the White Sea of Yore. This one was Vera, showing turtleback travel. Also looks like sand. So a desert environment, possibly? This one was Arcaris. This was the one that made me think that it was industry because it says commemoration of the 5th zone power plant, the Contessa. That said, I imagine all of these places probably have a power plant. Iraja, Arai, the Eastern Rain. Yes, we've seen this before. And then here we have Nuance with an airship and a bunch of mountains. Okay, I don't necessarily think that's industry. I just often tie, like, airships, blimps, dirigibles, etc. to industry, because a lot of fantasy settings tie those explicitly. I think I'm just taking that cue. Okay, hang on. Here's the next one.
Greetings, Simon. I hope all's well on the estate. I was discussing my communications with you with another fellow technician, Kimberly Thompson, and she suggested I disclose to you the locations of the drafting strategy issues that she's personally found on the estate. Number 1 is in the dormitory, number 2 in the drafting studio, number 3 in the library, and number 4 and 5 are in the bookshop. The above list is according to her, so I can't personally vouch that these are accurate.
And then again, Morajai, White Sea of Yore. Oh.
Simon, if I'm gonna be mentioning members of the staff, perhaps I should give you a brief introduction. Mrs. Ann Babbage is the the house manager, my boss. Kirk Darren is the head of security. Randolph Moore is the lead lab technician, network admin, and humble author of these letters. Kimberly Thompson is the lab assistant and helpful sidekick. Chef de Camp is the head of the kitchen, maker of tasty meals. Hartley Ruoda is the Baron's personal valet. He's unfortunately retiring. Christoph is the chauffeur, no last name. I think it's Clark, though,
Sorry, I'm going to use my own voice for this one. I think it's Clark if I'm following the part of a new clue that we magnified.
And Robert Nogular, the new groundskeeper. There are a handful of other names among the various live-in and live-out, and seasonal service staff, but due to their infrequent mention, I thought it best to omit them from this cursory introduction. Another successful experiment, another letter. You've certainly been keeping yourself busy. As I've spent the last few days racking my brain trying to come up with new clues for you, I'm reminded of your mother's aptly named book, A New Clue, and how fiendishly she hid the clues for its readers within its pages. Don't worry, I won't be hiding my clues for you in imagery or requiring you to comb the text with a magnifying glass. The truth is, I'm not nearly as clever or creative as she was. The best I could muster is trying to be cryptic and mysterious would be something like, break the bricks in the weight room with something that has a handle and is very heavy. I'm afraid that in spite of my best efforts, the result is not quite as cryptic and even less mysterious. I suppose I'll leave the riddles to your great uncle and his niece.
Another Arinda one there. I'd like more letters, please. I'd like significantly more letters, which means I need significantly more gems. Gem me up, bad boy. Please. I just need gems. Music room, can't draw it. Clock tower. Code check. That's the ability to give away our gems, basically. Kitchen, food for sale. I don't think I really need food right now. I'm going to take the gymnasium. It's the least food I can get. Clock tower archives and coat check in this direction. Realistically, the only one that actually makes sense is taking the clock tower right now. Losing my final gem. My final important and delectable gem. Is there anywhere I can go back to pick up some additional gems at this point? I could try and get my building generated outside. Woof. All right. I've delivered 7 letters. Look, if I can't deliver another letter, 7 letters? That's pretty good. That's a lot of progress right there. Just some money up here awaiting us. Hang on. It's about to be 1:30, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm leaving. 1:30, 1:30, 1:30. And there's Sacred up there, and then there's the rotation, and the... One of these days. That's so annoying. Courtyard is exactly the room that I wanted to hold on to 1 gem for, because it takes 1 gem and gives you 2. A ballroom that I definitely can't get. I'm 100% going to have to take this commissary, and we are going to have to hope against hopes that it sells gems, which it does. Thank you. In fact, I will be buying your salt shaker, your shovel, all of your gems, because you will pay me back 1 for each one that I buy, as well as each of your keys. Thank you kindly. All right. Now we're off to the races again. 5 gems. Let's go. Patio. Spreads gems in each green room. After this, I would only have Rotunda as my only available draft. Ooh, that hurts. It costs a gem, and it gives me 3 total gems, that patio. I'm going to redraw. Music room. I mean, that's a letter delivered, which it's hard to turn down letters delivered. I'm going to take West Wing Hall so that I can actually expand in the directions I care about, though. Up. Found you, you sneaky little coin. Rumpus room. I haven't rumped in a billion years. I've also got to redraw just in case I see something significantly better, but I can rewind, and it's time to rump. Alzara. What tales have you? What do you know? What do you know?
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
You'd be right about that, pal. Ooh, King Tiskin.
Faintly in the mist, I see a figure. A statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone.
Yes, this is the red statue outside the Museum of the Grand. Really?
These paths,
Really? There's another look. I can go there?
walking in the footsteps of the past,
Oh.
wandering
Is this game a lot bigger than I thought it was?
and waiting, searching for a shadow that will never be cast, longing for the day to end, the hours to pass. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
All right, buddy. Thank you for that. A little bit ominous, but okay. Armory. I'll redraw. Classroom would have a lot of rerolls available, but I think I'll be rewinding and heading to the conservatory. Got an apple. Ooh, excellent. Hey, it is 8 by default now that apples are extra, extra delicious. Music room, you being unusual is fine, but actually you being rare would be also okay with me. You give keys, but I don't need your keys that often. For 2 gems? You're pretty expensive actually, buddy. Gymnasium, you are one of the least costly reds that is there. I'm going to keep you standard. Funeral parlor, you are one of the best ways for me to generate gems via our reds, so I'm also going to keep you where you are. We dig up a worthless old shoe and a worthless old coin. I mean, ballroom's interesting. Ballroom would take my steps. Okay, I'm going to redraw, but I'm keen to come back to ballroom. Casino or vault, though? No, I'm going to rewind to ballroom. Whenever I enter ballroom, it'll set our... Oh. Where are we? Where are you, buddy? Down in this corner? Yeah, there you are. Every time I enter this room, I'm going to set my gems to 2, so I'm just going to come back up here between opening doors, see if I can get significantly more letters spawned. That said, I've only got 1 additional exit out the top of the rotunda. Basically, I just have to hope that doesn't terminate our path. If it does, why? Is basically going to be my response. That said, what's that? 9 triggers now? 8 triggers. 8 triggers of the successful experiment. That's incredible. It's only 1 new letter since last time, I think. Yep.
Dear Simon, as of yesterday, I'm running out of ideas of my own, so I asked Kirk Darren if he had any additional security advice he could pass on, and to my surprise, he gave me an envelope and directed me to include it in my next correspondence to you. I didn't ask him what it contained, so I'll be very curious to hear from you after this is all over to find out whether or not it was of any use. Unused memos.
Uh-huh. Safe code 4368 on a red, so it's not that. The numbers 6, 7, and 9 do not appear in any of the fixed combinations of the safes on the estate. And that's a blue memo? Safe code 1213. Hey, that's the one from MCI. Yeah, that's the one from the coat of arms. Safe code D8, but that's handwritten. So it's actually true, and that's the one for the study. There is a safe on rank 10, and that's green. So rank 10 means that it's in the final room. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all, frankly. But it's probably from tracking the movement of Herbert via all of his postcodes that I have the ability to unlock it in the first place. I'm really enjoying my correspondence with my pen pal. I mean, I haven't sent a single thing back so far, but that's okay, right? There we are. All the way up through the nook and rotunda, and here we are, the moment of truth. Woof. So, throne room, which I can't drop, planetarium will end the run, archives, my only available option. While drafting, you will no longer be able to see 3 available floor plans. That is sad. Casino does lead in the right direction. I'm gonna redraw and then come back to the casino. Yeah, none of those are definitely better than the casino. Go back to the casino. Oh, it's archived this. Oh, that's so funny. A different one is archived when you re-roll and come back. So here's the thing. I'm now encouraged to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 steps one direction, another 14 steps back in the other direction in order to get 2 more gems before I draft a game. I'm gonna be doing it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. Thankfully, I can pass by the food. And yeah, I've been up to rank 8. Yeah, dinner has been served. Wood-fired pizza, that's 45 steps, an additional 10 if I have a furnace. I don't have a furnace. I suppose I can check the mail in the meantime as well. Just in case I get a letter eventually that's like, it's done.
Simon, I can't think of any reason you'd need to access the server administrative controls before I return, but your father has mentioned your interest in computers, so I have a feeling you may be a bit more hands-on than your great uncle. You'll find an admin terminal in Blackbridge Grotto, a small cavern sealed, much like the story, off of the East Drive. I believe I previously explained how to restore power to the grotto in my earlier letters. However, keep in mind that accessing the terminal requires an admin key. Unfortunately, I won't be able to set up one for you until I return, but your admin key will eventually be Joan S., the first 4 letters of your family name, or if you'd prefer, we can use a pseudonym. I'm sure we'll discuss it in greater detail when I return.
So that's the hint. How a admin name is constructed, and also that pseudonyms are often used as admin names, rather. We know both of those. That's just information we already have in the palm of our hand. I've saved a decent amount of footsteps with the running shoes of it all. Not going through the gymnasium so that I can save some steps, even at the possible cost of a key. Pretty chill day, to be honest. Just a bunch of mail. I almost feel like at some point he's going to be like,
Oh, I had a floor plan in my back pocket the whole time. I'll send it to you right now.
that's what I'm kind of hoping for, to be honest. Alright. I mean, I don't know what any of these... what that middle one is. Ooh, throne room. Can't take it again. Thankfully I have 2 exits other than this. I'm gonna rewind and see if this one was revealed. It wasn't. I'm gonna draft it just in case it's... Oh, it's really good. It's a pool room. Leads in good directions. I'm unfortunately encouraged right now. To specifically head back to the ballroom again. I don't like that. I have the south entrance to the antechamber. I also have the other entrance to the antechamber. So if I can get this entrance, but this entrance is only Secret Garden or Mechanarium. And Mechanarium, if it shows up, I have almost no rooms setting up the Mechanarium. I have 1. Yep. That's another 28 steps to go and get 1 gem so that I can continue this mail. It's... the casino has some money in it as well. I'm gonna draft out the north of the casino, because if that's how we do it. We draft out the north of the casino, see if we can connect to the antechamber, and then explore from the antechamber after the next draft. But I do have to make sure that I have 2 gems available in case it gives me something like Foyer, which it totally could. Just a straight line that costs 2 gems. In fact, that would ideal for us. Oh, of course the vestibule's not going to be locked. Foyer's already spawned. Never mind. I previously questioned whether or not that'd be the case. Obviously, it won't. Thank you for your gem. Oh, if only I was removing crates. This would be such a good run for that. That said, I do need to permanently remove the crates and also permanently get the mail, so like... Because what if there is something unique at the end of the mail? So far, it's only been information that I've had, but again, the post stamp from Vera and the post stamp from Arc Ares were both pretty important. Granted, I might have been able to get those post stamps from other letters, but that's neither here nor there. It's elsewhere. Thank you for the money. Special key, silver key. Open many rooms. Conference room leads in the wrong directions. Mount Holly gift shop. I hope this one is Great Hall. I'm going to redraw and possibly come back to that. Mechanarium. Unfortunately, I do not have the right positions for the Mechanarium at all. I gotta rewind. Chamber of Mirrors. I'm going to take conference room. What's the other one? Oh, this was the Mount Holly gift shop and it leads in the wrong directions as well. Yeah, conference room. Oh, I was also going to try the basement key on the vault outside. Again, we'll redraw. I mean, that's a lot of keys that it just spread. Oh, actually, that's fine. That's a lot of keys that just spread around the house, or rather that it just specifically gave to the conference room. And that's also a lot of keys that we can now use to pop open a bunch of lockers in here, hopefully gaining some gems. And food, additional footsteps, we'll take that. 2 gems. 2 delectable apples. Right, yeah, the Danny Ravane and Kristoff locker. One more gem. This is working out perfectly. Except for that one. Those 2. This whole side of lockers is actually cursed, so, you know, that's what was going on there. Yeah, certainly away from the curse with these 12 coins. This one just says Kirk Darren as a pseudonym. That one right there. So many gems. That's the 6 mathematic worksheet. Use a key to get a key. This actually might be Kirk Darren's pseudonym. Yep, in which case this one has actually keys in it. Cool. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. Oh my god, trophy room, it leads in the right direction. It takes all of those gems and it gives me even more. Thank you kindly. Seven's called his kitchen and the code room. I'll redraw. Planetarium, archive floorplan, or a secret passage. I'm gonna take the archive floorplan. Ooh, armory leading in a good direction. Unfortunately, it does not have the biggest possible benefit it could have held. I will take Knight's Shield as well, though. Don't need the torch, necessarily. I mean, this is the last draft that I can get, so I could re-roll from freezer. Sure. I absolutely think now is the time to get the freezer. I only got one more space that costs gems. Do I want to get the treasure trove outside again? Treasure trove, it would give me the ability to test 2 things on it today. 1 thing's on it today, because I just froze my money. And that's the basement key. Which I do not think is gonna help, by the way. Just to be very clear, I don't think it will. So I want to go back to the mail room first. Oh. Went too far in the wrong direction. I wouldn't be surprised if we're almost out of letters.
Simon, if you do end up accessing the admin controls in the Blackbridge Grotto, I'm sure you'll have noticed the sealed circular door on the left of the terminal. As you've likely already concluded for yourself, this door can only be opened if 3 different microchips are inserted in the central pedestal. Normally, all 3 microchips are kept secured in 3 other locations, but I decided to make it easy for you and have left one of the microchips in the grotto for ready access. However, you'll need to find a new clue or 2 to find the others.
So that's hinting the fact that the other 2 existed in locations that were hinted at by the book A New Clue. I don't know how many more letters you can spawn, though. It does seem like we might be out of them. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell until next time I try and spawn letters. Okay. Is it treasure trove that I want to do? I didn't spawn throne room, so I can't even access room 46. So yeah, it's got to be treasure trove that I'm going to respawn again outside. I don't have code check with me, so it's not like I could even hold on to Lady Raja's diary key. I can spawn a bunch of gold in the estate. It'd all go up to the conference room. It's just there's nothing necessarily to accomplish with that. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Literally, I can't draft it. Why? I don't have Vault inside, but maybe I do want to go to the trading post here. I mean, I can redraw, then I can unredraw. Shrine, I already have, so no. Of course, I wasn't going to be able to spawn the treasure trove. Of course. Can't believe I didn't think about that. Thank you for the turnip. Old rusty nail. Sledgehammer compass, silver key, prism key, silver key, silver key, silver key, silver key, compass, battery pack. Reroll, silver key, night shield, etc. If I got a compass, you'd offer me a coin purse instead. If I had a silver key, He'd offer me a metal detector. I don't want Salt Shaker to be given to me next run, so I'm going to trade that for a passive. I'm going to do the same for a key card. Passive, sorry, a consumable item. Morningstar. I'm already getting the benefit of Morningstar tomorrow just from having picked it up. Moon Pendant for 3? No, I don't get rid of the Moon Pendant. Oh, wait, it is counting me as having 2 Moon Pendants. I wonder if I'll get to keep more items. Interesting. Well, let's see whether or not that is the case in tomorrow's run. So what do I want to spawn outside? Maybe nothing. Maybe I don't use the Blessing of Monk today. Yeah. I think today we're going to give it a rest outside without using the Blessing of the Monk so that I can just hold on to... I can get Trophy Room out there and get a bunch of gems. No. Making absolutely certain there's none of these that I would desperately want to spawn outside. Throne Room and Room 46 are the 2 that come to mind outside of the other obvious ones. Obvious one, of course, being the Treasure Trove, because it has a unique thing out there. Yeah, we're going to call it out here. Because I do have still both Classroom and Tomb that are really important for me to generate in the outer room, and I would love the opportunity to actually be able to do that, please. We'll freeze our assets and call it a day. Mount Holly Sports Shopping Center of Games with a gymnasium, weight room, pool, locker room, 5 shop rooms, a casino, a billiard room, a parlor, and a rumpus room. I think that went pretty well. A whole load of letters for us. We'll save and continue and try and do something similar, either with letters or crates again tomorrow. Until then, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Blueprints. Top left is a serial playlist for all my content on the game, past, present, future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting it. Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. At or above the thank you. And a special thanks to this episode to Sorathil. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you all next time.